and welcome back to Rue's Life, and welcome to this month's Ponderings from the Polytunnel. And it's part way through September. I can't believe it. So weather-wise, it's a much cooler temperature today. I'm actually just preparing to go and have a wild swim, and I'm just in two minds as to whether I might need my wetsuit today. But I think I'll stick to my swimsuit, but I will probably put on my gloves as well as my swim shoes and just make sure that we warm up as soon as we get out. So yeah, temperatures are slowly starting to drop. We've had some rain and there's a definite nip in the air, that autumnal feeling. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're still reaching some lovely temperatures during the day, but it is starting to feel a bit autumnal. So here in the Polytunnel and on the plot, things are absolutely thriving. I've tasted my first watermelon, there's more to come. The harvests are coming thick and fast and it's absolutely wonderful. And I'm already starting to plan ahead for what I'm going to be sowing and growing. I've got some seedlings on the go. I'm already thinking about ordering my onion sets for overwintering, clearing beds, which ones, I'm definitely going to be mulching this year, so I'll be putting some layers of cardboard and some compost down on the bulk of those beds this year. I may try and get the onion bed mulched, at least with compost, before obviously I get those onions in, just to give them a chance, but all the other beds will have cardboard and mulch, and I haven't decided which bed the onions are going in yet. I'm toying with putting them in the squash bed when the squash are finished, but the squash might go on for a little bit longer. Anyway, that's for a gardening video and for the future. So the animals are all doing absolutely fine. The horses at the moment are just out living their best life. I haven't been riding. I do plan to get back into it. I realise, I don't have as much time. I love the horses being here. They are getting older. I've just booked the equine dentist because they'll be due in October. So I've got that booked up. They get their vaccinations done. They're fit and healthy, have all their vet checks and everything that they need. But I've got to a point now where I ride occasionally and I enjoy it. But, as I'm getting older, my priorities in life have changed. And yeah, that competitive streak has left me. I think it was really when COVID happened. Right up until that point, I was still going out regularly and competing. And then, of course, everything was stopped overnight. Pretty much we couldn't compete, and then it was the best part of 2 and a bit years, and I've got out of the habit, and other things have moved in, like the swimming, and really the one thing in my life that does remain constant, that takes a lot of my time, obviously are the animals and the care and maintenance of them, but it's the plot, it's the growing, and I love it, and I think I've just accepted, and I'm in a really good place, that just because I used to do something a lot, it doesn't mean I still have to do it. So yeah, I ride as and when. I'm not sure if I will get out and compete again. Does it really matter? I've got boxes full of rosettes and some trophies. I've done it, and I loved it. I'll never say never, but at the moment I don't have any plans to get out and compete. Certainly not in the immediate future. We'll see what happens as the months go by. And I have said this before. Traditionally, I do generally tend to ride more during the winter months, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So let's see. Let's just see where things go. The dogs are doing absolutely fine. We've got Kay booked in for her next checkup. We've got a plan in place now to fund her continued treatment. Kaylee's doing absolutely grand, although she's getting much grey around her muzzle and eyes now. She's getting an older lady. I think she's 11 this year, but she's great. She's happy. And we love to take them to the mere, to the canal. And actually it's time I got them back to Erddig. I tend not to go to Erddig, which is a National Trust property near to us, but we can walk them on the estate. But I tend to avoid it during the height of the season, and autumn is the sort of I get back to it and I walk them there through the autumn and winter months, and they really enjoy it. The chickens are still free ranging at the moment, but I'm very aware that there are a lot of increase in cases of avian flu, so I'm under no illusion that it won't be long before they're locked down again. But this year at least we've built that new structure and we're ready for it. So number one, it'd be much easier for us because it's just a case of closing a door because we've got it all organised. But also, more importantly, it's going to be better for their welfare because we've got that bigger enclosure. They coped really, really well in it last year. So if we get locked down again, and as I say, I'm under no illusion that it's coming, they will be in a better place and it will be easier for us. So we're prepared. The sheep are still in their summer grazing, which is the field which I'm pointing behind me to the left as we come up the drive. They're going to be there probably for another week or so, and then we'll be thinking about moving them onto some different grazing. The horses were in the throes of moving around at the moment, you know, just to rest some of the fields. I'll be honest with you, we haven't got the grazing at the moment that we often would have at this time of the year, simply because we had such a long hot spell with no rain, and of course we haven't had the grass growing. So we'll probably be supplementing feed. In fact, I've already started. They had a bucket feed this morning, so we'll probably be supplementing more and for longer, but that's the way it is. Some years we have to feed more and some years we don't. It's just the way it is, isn't it? So what have I talked about? The horses, the sheep, the chickens, the dogs. Victor Victor the tortoise has really settled in. He's really chilled now. He's just an absolute character, and we're really, really enjoying having him. So on to books, and books that I've been reading. I'm still reading Sally Rooney Conversations with Other People, with one thing or another, with work, with home, with other things that have been going on, my health, hospital appointments. I just haven't had the time to read, and I'll be honest with you, I'm really missing it. But what I have been doing is I have a subscription to a magazine, which I may have mentioned in previous videos, and it's called The Simple Things. And I have been taking the time to sit and read through my magazine, and it's just lovely. Check it out, go and have a look for it. I can put a link actually below to any of you that are interested in a subscription, but I think you can find it on the shelves as well in the shops. And it's just really lovely, and for me it's my kind of outlook on life, and it's just that reminder that we need to kind of slow down and remember to look around us, you know, not be kind of stuck in social media or stuck in our heads, but just to slow down and be grateful, I suppose. Be grateful for the things that we have around us, and to be grateful for the simple things. And that really does sit well with me and the way that I live my life. So what have we been watching? So we've just started, we're part way into an American TV drama series. We found it on one of the online channels, or Chris found it, called Perception. And I'm really, really enjoying it. And all the way through the main character, so far I've been thinking, I recognise this guy. Who is he? Why do I know him? So finally I've Googled it. Now, the actor's name, Eric McCormack, meant nothing to me, and it may or may not mean something to you. But I recognised him because he was Will from the comedy hit, American comedy, Will and Grace. And he is such a different character in this. We're really, really enjoying it. I can highly recommend it. I think it's on the Disney subscription channel. We've stopped using Netflix, and Chris has subscribed to Disney, and we also use Amazon Prime. And of course we watch an awful lot on YouTube. But yeah, so what was it called again? Perception. Really enjoying that. It's coming up to the Malvern Autumn Show, and I don't know how many of you out there will be going. Drop me a comment below if you're going, and you know, look out for me. I'd love to meet any of you that watch. There will be some other fellow YouTubers there, and I'm really looking forward to having a catch up with them. So I'm pretty certain Jane's going from Jane's allotment. I'm not sure if Erica will be there or Liz. So from Erica's A Little Welsh Garden or By the Farm. Danny's going to be there from the, oh Danny, I'm so sorry, I can never remember the name of your channel, Grapevine Gardener. Yeah, so I know there's going to be quite a few YouTubers there, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I love the show, I love the atmosphere, and it's always good to catch up with fellow YouTubers and fellow gardening friends, or from the YouTube community. So looking forward to that. Got my tickets and looking forward to going. What else? Oh goodness me, one of my nephews got married a couple of weekends ago, and it was absolutely delightful. We had such a lovely day. It was over on Anglesey, and it was actually quite nice to get scrubbed up for a change, and just catch up with some family that we haven't seen and meet some new faces that I haven't met before. But it was a beautiful, beautiful day. The weather wasn't great, it rained, but they had a little bit of sun, and it didn't spoil things at all by raining. It was lovely, the food was lovely, the ceremony was absolutely beautiful, and it was all round just a lovely, lovely day. Work is really busy but good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm staying afloat despite the busyness. We're getting closer and closer to my workload, hopefully easing off by having more staff. And as I've said in previous videos, I'm hoping that between October and Christmas, by Christmas, we should be close to being fully staffed, and that's going to make a massive difference. But I'm keeping that balance, I'm protecting my downtime, and I'm really still loving being back. Definitely the right decision, and I've definitely got a different head on my shoulders this time around. So you know, the stress and the reasons that I kind of stepped out last time, I know you know, just not, you can never say never, but I think it's very unlikely that that's going to happen again, because I've got much more of an awareness. I'm protecting my downtime, and as I say, I've got a very different head on my shoulders this time. And to be fair, I'm getting a huge amount of support as well from you know, management above myself. What else? Wild swimming. So I've continued to go at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. I'm actually off soon, so when I finish this video, I'll be getting prepped, and I'll be heading out to meet my lovely swim buddy. I have been swimming on my own a little bit as well, and you should have seen a video a few videos back to one of my lone swims, but I am trying for safety really, and also for motivation and enthusiasm. I definitely swim further and I'm more relaxed, and it's safer, isn't it, when I'm swimming with somebody else. We've been kayaking again and absolutely loved it. That's Chris and I. Really got into it the last time, and was less, you know, worried, and I felt I was in more control, and I definitely got a lot more from it. So that's something we're planning to keep doing. Really, really enjoyed that. And actually the lovely people who have lent us the kayaks have actually just had a little baby. We haven't met him yet. He's only, you know, days old. I'm trying to work out how old he is. Is he a week yet? But we'll be meeting him next weekend, and I can't wait to give him a big cuddle. We've seen lots of photographs, and he's just adorable, so that's exciting. One of the things that I think is hanging over us all at the moment is the cost of living, the continuous increase in the cost of living. And I'm thinking about making a video, so do drop me a comment below if it's something that you would be interested in. I have got lots of ideas up my sleeve as to how we are going to save money and be careful, particularly through these winter months, you know, with the cost of fuel, the cost of everything, but you know, and electricity, everything's going up. So how, you know, how are we going to make ends meet? How are we going to make savings, but at the same time, you know, make sure we've got food on our table, and make sure, you know, I'm not in any way, shape or form trying to you know, dramatise it or scare people, but I think it's something we really need to think about. And I think if we talk about it, we share our ideas, then this is something that we can get through. So, you know, how can we cut our cut our costs really? How can we make what we've got go further? And I am thinking, as I say, of making a video about that. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. We can't possibly let, I just can't do this video without touching on whether you are a royalist or not, whether you are interested in the royal family or not, or whatever you may or may not believe or feel. We can't not recognise the sad loss of our Queen and gaining our King Charles III. Queen Elizabeth II was, in my mind, an absolutely remarkable woman. Regardless of what we think about the monarchy, I personally am, I like the monarchy. I feel it's been an important part of my life. She's always been there. I can remember 1970, oh goodness, which was the Jubilee I went to. In the 70s, when I was quite young, I can remember waving my flag and seeing the Queen in London. Of course, we've recently had the Jubilee celebrations, of which I was a part of, and I really enjoyed them. I'm so glad now that we did go to our local celebrations and that I did enter my Jubilee cake. It was such a lovely, marking that event. And then, of course, now everything's changed. I'll be honest with you, I felt very emotional. And I've been following quite closely, in the news, on the radio, and also on social media. So I had to touch on that. And yeah, it's very, very sad. And also, it's quite exciting, isn't it, that we're going to have our new king. I personally, again, I know everybody's different, but I really like, I was going to say Prince Charles, our new King Charles. I've met him a couple of times. I like what he stands for. I've always followed him with great interest. I know he is very interested in the environment and green living and sustainable living. And I like him. So I feel very positive about our future under our new king. So I'm going to move on from that. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all that's going on here at the moment. So I'm going to pop the kettle on and have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to pack my swim gear and I'm off for a lovely swim in the Mere. So I hope you're all well. As ever, thank you so much for watching. Take good care, and I'll see you all again soon.